The amazing news about the surviving of a little girl who fell off a Disney Dream cruise, and her father so bravely jumped after her instinctively. You're talking about 40 feet or 50 feet into the water and successfully saved his daughter. 20 minutes later, they were safe in a rescue boat. Do we realize what kind of miracle, not just one miracle, but compounding miracles that occurred here? The fact that the 5-year-old fell 40 feet into choppy waters near a huge cruise ship and survived the fall and was able to make it in the water. Her mother was screaming, she doesn't know how to swim, she can't swim. The fact that she survived the fall is a miracle. The fact that the father, who's not an Olympic diver, was able to dive into the waters to save his daughter. 40 feet is pretty much the highest diving board at an Olympic event. And here, instinctively, instantly, without thinking of making any calculations, he dived right into the water. The fact that he was able to survive the fall, the dive, the jump is miraculous. And the fact that he was able to hold his daughter, locate her in this vast ocean just to find her and hold her and tread water for 20 minutes. Have we thought about the wildlife that exists in the ocean that could have devoured them, God forbid? So can we begin counting how many miracles occurred? The fact that the rescue boat was able to come and be there in 20 minutes and save them and bring them to safety so that they could see another day and the family can be united again. This is a miraculous event. Yes, it happened on the Disney Dream Cruise to this family. But what does it tell you? What does it say to you when you hear such a story? The great holy Rabbi Yisroel, known as Rabbi Yisroel Baal Shem Tov, lived about 250 years ago. I'm named after him. He had a very famous saying that he lived by, that he taught, that he created the whole movement based upon. That everything you see, everything you hear, you must learn a lesson from it in serving God. So when you heard this story of this girl falling into an ocean and her father jumping after her, saving her, treading water for 20 minutes, and finally coming to aboard a shore totally unscathed, what does it tell you? Well, perhaps these events occur for us to be aware and to wake up and to recognize that miracles do happen. Miracles happen even in our days. Many people have questioned and saying, why don't we see revealed miracles the way we have seen them in yesteryears, during the 10 plagues in Egypt, during the splitting of the sea, the revelation of Mount Sinai? Why don't we see revealed miracles nowadays? Well, let's open our eyes and let's see what just happened at this cruise ship. It made world headlines of not only the miraculous survival, but the dedication, the commitment of a father jumping after a daughter who just fell into a huge ocean, taking the greatest risks of his own life to try to save his daughter. The commitment, the dedication, but more than anything possible, this was a ripple miracle, miracle upon miracle upon miracle upon miracle, to have a wonderful, wonderful survival story Unfortunately, sadly, there are many people who fall off cruise ships. As the statistics, not many are ever recovered. But this time was a miracle. And we need to label it as a miracle because logically, none of this adds up. The chances of her surviving the fall is huge. She's not a professional diver, neither is the father. And the fact that the father is able to locate the daughter in the vast, choppy waters, and the waters wasn't warm either, and to be able to tread water for 20 minutes and then get rescued, it's just miraculous. So call it as it is. It's a miracle. God was watching, and God gave a miracle to this family. But the reason why it came to our attention is that you and I should know that we are also capable to receive miracles from God. You and I deserve to have a miracle from God. You just need to ask for it. You need to open up your channels with God. You need to reconnect to God. You need to begin praying to God so that God hears your voice, so that not only you're on God's radar screen, but that you have developed a relationship with God. So when the time comes that you need a miracle, the miracle will come. The world saw a couple of weeks ago another miracle happen in the Middle East during the 12-day war when Israel flew into Iran to take out its nuclear facilities, neutralizing the threats of nuclear and ballistic missiles. The fact that the United States of America partnered with Israel and dispatched its amazing brave soldiers on a very daring mission, the most daring mission, and came home safe and well, succeeding in their mission, was miraculous. Miracles in our days. God is revealing himself in our days with miracles. Let's just open our eyes and recognize the miracles that God continues to do for us and does with us. But my message to you is that you too deserve a miracle. You too can get a miracle. That happens by being open to allowing God into your heart and begin inviting God into your home, into your life. Walk with God as a partner, and God will be there with you. There's a story about this gentleman who used to walk on the beach every single morning. And he looked behind him and he saw an extra set of footsteps. To him, he felt that God was walking behind him and looking over his shoulder. He felt so comforted. Every time he walked on the beach, he saw those extra set of footsteps. It was so comforting to him to know that God is looking over his shoulder. One day, some tragedy, some difficult times hits, and he can't wait to go on the beach and begin walking, and he wants to talk to God. And he looks behind him, and those footsteps are no longer there. And he screams out, he says, God, all this time you're looking over my shoulder? Now that I'm in a crisis and I need you most, where are you? Why have you abandoned me? A heavenly voice responds, said, son, all year round I look over your shoulder. That's why you see my footsteps behind you. But now that you're in a crisis, I am cradling you, I'm carrying you. That's where you only see one set of footsteps. Yes, when God is in your life, he will cradle you in your times of crisis, in your times of need. King David wrote, anytime you call out to God with truth, God will answer you. God to us is so accessible. God is so loving, so caring, and so giving. We can't understand God's ways. We don't understand the bad things that's happening in this world. We don't understand why do bad things happen to good people. But it's not our purview to understand because we're not God. We're humans. We're finite. God is infinite. But one thing we do know is that God is a caring God, a loving God, and a beneficent God. The omnipresent, the omnipotent, the omnipotent will always be there for us. Reach out and you too will get the miracle that you need. I promise you, You connect with God, God will connect with you. God bless you. God loves you.